All right, so I have a question for all of you kicking off this Snare Saturday video. Why do we always like to debate things and have heated arguments? What came first, the chicken or the egg? Which American car manufacturer is better, Chevy or Ford? Because Dodge and Chrysler are made by Stellantis, which isn't an American brand. And we all know as drummers that age-long debate on which grip is better, traditional or match grip. Or what style of music makes you a better drummer, playing rock or playing jazz. But when it comes to snare drums, there is always that age-old question of what species is better, wood or metal. Well, in this Snare Saturday video, I'm going to play both, and we're gonna do a blind test to see if you can hear the difference. Yo, what's going on everybody? Nick Costa here, and in this video, it's time to see if you can hear the difference between a wood and metal snare drum. That is right, it is time to put that age-old question of what's better, wood versus metal when it comes to snare drums, and we're going to do it with a blind test to see if you can actually hear the difference between the two. Now, before we dive into this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification. That way you're notified of any additional content that I upload to the channel. So this Snare Saturday video is going to be super straightforward. I'm going to play a few different snare drums. Some are wood and some are metal. They're all going to be tuned about the same. However, it's going to be a blind testing to see if you really can hear the difference between a wood and a metal species snare drum. So let's go ahead and talk about the snare drums that are going to be featured in this video. Starting off with the wood species snare drums. The very first snare drum is a 50s WFL 15-inch parade snare drum. This is a 3-ply mahogany shell, which is mahogany, poplar mahogany, with maple reinforcement rings on the top and the bottom. And the second snare drum is a 7x14 steam bent solid curly hickory snare from MCD. Now let's go ahead and dive into the metal snare drums. Now the first snare drum is one of the most popular snare drums that Ludwig makes, a Black Beauty. This particular model is the 8x14 variation. And the second snare drum is a Ludwig Heirloom Stainless Steel snare drum. This is the 5.5x14 model. So you have two drums that are made out of wood. One is a 3-ply mahogany shell. The other is a steam bent curly hickory shell. And then you have two metal snare drums. One is a black nickel over brass drum, and the other one is a stainless steel drum. And now it's time to see if you can hear the difference between them. So let's go ahead and do a blind test. But rather than just having a blank screen during this blind testing, because you'll get bored if that's the case, here is a bunch of royalty-free B-roll. All right, so you had drum 1, drum 2, drum 3, and drum 4. Let's start out with the simple task of, was it metal or was it wood? And let's go ahead and play these drums again through a blind test so you can hear them once again. Now make sure you're not cheating and scrubbing to the end of the video. Go ahead and leave what you think each drum is in the comment section below. So let's go ahead and cue some more of that royalty-free B-roll. All right, so the moment of truth. It is time to identify which drum was which. But rather than me just telling you, it's time now to take all of that audio you just heard and put it with the video of me playing each drum so you could see it for yourself. So, were you right? Or better yet, were you surprised by the outcome of this video? Were you able to identify what each specific drum was? Or were you just shocked at what you heard? Either way, hopefully this shows you that sometimes the things that we think and have ingrained in our heads, that a type of shell configuration is better than another, can actually skew what we're hearing. Either way, I would love to hear what you thought of each drum and if you were right or not, so feel free to leave that in the comment section below, letting me know. Now, if you want to see the earlier Snare Saturday videos where I featured each one of these snare drums through a few different tunings, I've put links to those videos in the description below. I also put a link to the Snare Saturday playlist in the description as well. I'll also have it pop up right here to make it a bit easier for you. Now, if you have any other additional questions, maybe on the drums featured in this video, or even the gear that I am playing, or anything else, feel free to leave that in the comment section as well, and I will try my best to answer them. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure that you give it a thumbs up. That way it makes it a little bit easier for others to find it. And that is it. Thank you so much for checking out this video on Can You Hear the Difference Between a Wood and Metal Snare Drum? And until next time, see you later.